Hello, universe. It's Monday. It's time is 11:47, and well, I'm in a really good mood, and mostly because my little tantrum with AT&T on Friday all worked out fine. And by fine, I mean, well, I have a new phone number and a plan that probably will, in some way, shape, or form, cause me to pop off a year or two from now in some capacity that I'm not even going to pretend to try to imagine. Let's just assume that it's there, and it's on me to avoid it. Can I for once in my life just accept that if you're going to bring corporate America to any kind of dance whatsoever, well, they are going to try to rape you in the parking lot. It's just who they are. Pause. And if you can make it into the dance without that happening, then they're going to try to do it somewhere in the dance, probably in some secluded area of the school that they're not supposed to be in. And if they can't get that job done, then they're going to try to do it on the way home. And so it's a lot of fending off of corporate America's advances in inappropriate capacity. And yet in America, this is another reason that the truth is a hard thing to find a path for emergence, because I ain't got time for that. Seriously, I ain't got time for that. I'm getting cornholed by the corporations. Pause. Unpause. But I'm here, and it is with a lot of reluctance that I concede this point, that I do think in many ways, at least I enable or invite or encourage my own disgruntled positioning, because there are options that are available if one wants to pursue a less, let's just say, if what you're expecting is to go to top tier organizations for their top tier delivery on results, and in that environment expect nothing but A's or A pluses on your exchange of commerce. Well, no. You go to the top tier organizations because overall you can expect somewhere between B minus and A minus plus A service, right? And really, C service becomes unacceptable and is dealt with as such. Whereas the bottom tier of providers start with C service and try not to throw so much F service at you that you say F off, right? And then there's the middle tier of like Cricket or Prepaid or Boost Mobile, I think, is their current iteration. The we're not going to deal with you because you're problematic, but if you can make yourself less problematic, we'll at least give you access to the best of our network at off-peak hours so that there is some connection with what the elite in America use. Well, not the military, I mean, come on. But by elite, I was talking about more like the people who, the people who spend $100 a month for an individual phone line with unlimited access to the internet and constant 5G streaming for their 1080p demanding video lifestyle. Or is it, I don't even know what the next 1440, whatever your lifestyle of video streaming is, it is much more demanding than mine will ever be. Unless that military thing somehow twists into my life. But never having seen that on my life plan, not even once, well, let's just say that can't happen. I mean, it can't. Military? Me? Think about it. Can't. It just can't. It's one of the truisms of life. I and the military cannot coexist. So therefore, we will not even attempt it. From afar, though, we can respectfully deal with each other. And I think even come to have some sort of a I mean, yeah, if it were the right century and I were the right gender and gender meant something, maybe, but not today. Pause. Unpause. And woe would thee be to think in any way that I have some sort of dismissive attitude towards any sort of gender identification that you privilege or are aspiring to transition into. I am all about you realizing yourself at your fullest potential, period. And if that includes whatever level of gender identification you want to throw at me, I'll respect it. And again, I just don't think that I want to go through that discussion in the military where it obfuscates the point of defending a nation, which I think is what our military is here to do. You know, at least as far as pause, unpause. All right, I'm just going to stop right there. Okay, no CIA today, no Mossad. There's no need for that. You know why? Because I haven't been on the internet for 3 days. Do you know how liberating that is toward your humanity? It is a revelation of self reorganization and activity integration. I've gotten more done in 3 days in my house organization projects than I've gotten done in the 3 weeks prior to that. And that isn't dedicating a whole lot of time to it. That's just doing those projects while not being distracted by the internet. Big difference. I'm getting a lot of shit done instead of being distracted so much that I forgot what I was even doing. Big difference. Pause. Unpause. So it is with this, we'll call it unbridled productivity. No, it was there was some bridling, but let's just say having notched up a personal level of accomplishment, check mark box on shit that's behind schedule already and could use a yesterday meter to get done today. Well, yeah, good. And even have more energy. I'm not so certain the internet, at least on my phone, is something I want. If it's in my office at home on a desktop where I have to sit by myself facing a corner to access Rumble, so I can see what Glenn Greenwald has to say about today's Senate pomp, regardless of the circumstance. I don't know how much of that I need. I don't know how much of that is even useful. I got a ton of other things to get done, like life. And maybe that's why I popped off Friday morning. Maybe this is the message I needed to get out. That life without a phone means something. Pause. Pause. But to be fair, we're just spouting shit at the water cooler here. I don't know that 3 days of anything matters at all. It's just been an invigorating sense of unbridling, right? I mean, isn't that the word we're using today? Bridled? Unbridled? Or, we were going to do la pausa and reanudar. Reanudar? I don't know where you put the emphasis on that word. Is it on the second syllable from the end or the third? Reanudar? Reanudar. How about reanudar? Reanudar. That would be what I say after I say la pausa. Reanudar. Rolling our R's? Yeah, that's Spanish. And Italian. Boys, battalion was not a good choice of languages to overlap between high school and college. Dumb things I've done. But in spite of all the dumb things I've done, I still understand how much life offers self-love opportunities to be realized, even at times when you're speaking with AT&T customer service representatives who are not very friendly. And of course they're not. Who wants that job? Who on planet Earth wants that job? The job of picking up the phone with the known problematic customer in today's problematic customer universe. Who wants that job? I mean, okay, I kind of want that job, but I'd really want to know what the complaints were. Because if they're legit, then no, I don't want that job. Pause. Whoa, unpause. I think I just admitted that I would willingly sell out. No, I wouldn't sell out. I would enjoy the verbal sparring. It would be contentious of a level that, yeah, but you'd be defending ideas and ideals with which you don't have much agreement. So you'd be false-facing this whole debate paradigm that you think would be somewhat entertaining as an employment mechanism for the abuse that customers can lay upon thee. I mean, you are joking, right? La pausa. Reanudar. I do believe if you're going to, oh, and buenos dias, universe. I probably opened with a hello instead of an hola or a que pasa way. But because I have had some time to consider not looking shit up online, well, it made me think about how easily I talk myself into that time being of productive and valuable nature, or a productive and valuable nature. Because there are really valuable insights to be seen, had, and experienced in the wealth of presentation the internet online experience offers. The problem is you can also really lose yourself into a cornucopia of disconnect from your own real sense of what you're doing. Because somehow now you're here, you had to check that part out, which led you to here, which led you to that, and now you're consumed by this little point of information to which you cannot find a conclusion, and you spent 2.5 weeks drilling through all this. Say, Antarctica. To what end? And seriously, to what end? I don't know anymore. And I wrote this sentence this morning as I was just mystified by some of what I've been doing. We are basically babysat, awaiting a Messiah's emergence to clean up the mess, and willingly letting ourselves be distracted by the idolization of others in some self-referential point of disgust with ourselves and our lives that we've crafted, or in some virtual space of camaraderie that only exists in a connection that we're fantasizing about on a highway of information that leads to a miserable population wondering how it got so fucking hard to find meaning in this life. And then when I told AT&T, fuck you bitches, I was like, well, this sucks. This is gonna fucking suck. Because now I'm going to realize how much the internet was infecting my life. And then I'm going to have a reckoning with that new information meaning something and what to do with it. La pausa. Ah, sí. Pose. All right. And I know this is going to sound like get off my fucking lawn commentary of the minute, but as I was riding around this morning, and it must have been, I don't know, between 8 and 8:30, I passed a McDonald's where there was one, what looked like family, because there were 2 or 3 toddler-sized kids and a couple of other elementary school-sized kids. So consider it a 5-6 pack of kids plus 2 moms all having McDonald's breakfast inside. You could see the chaos from the bike path. But what was truly chaotic was outside were, I'm going to guess, 6, maybe 9, maybe, no, 6 at least, just thinking of the layout of the parking lot, people in their cars, individuals, eating by themselves with their phones. And I don't know why that just struck me as such a lonely snapshot of American life. But it did. Pause. La pausa. Ah, dang, I probably did not reanudar last time. Reanudar. We'll work on that. La pausa. Reanudar. Oh, and phone fall. Okay, I'm not going to touch it. If la pausa means something like pussy in Spanish, and I'm just mocking myself right now, can we understand that that will be a moment that I will enjoy laughing at myself as well? Because I'm a dumb American making dumb American mistakes all the time. So that's the kind of mistake that I would expect myself to be making and hope that I'm not, and be okay with if I am, in a way that I could reflect on it and say, next time, look it up and see if it has second meanings. Pause. La pausa. I'm not going to say it. Pause. Okay. Everyone agrees that we have 2 toothbrushes. It's just the way life evolved. That you brush your teeth in the shower in the morning, and then you brush your teeth at night without taking a shower sometimes. And if you happen to take a shower, well, you brush your teeth in the shower twice. But the morning brushing your teeth in the shower thing, not only does it save time, not only does it make you feel exceptionally clean when you walk out of the bathroom, and give you the opportunity to do all of that efficiently and without making a mess around your toothbrush or your sink. Well, it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Oh, it's such a win. I'm choking on it. Because if you're not doing it, start today. You should. You should take a shower at the next opportune moment. Don't force it, but there will come a moment today still in which a shower will be available. You should find a toothbrush, some toothpaste, take that shower, brush your teeth, get out, and come out of that bathroom going, fuck yeah, that is how my morning should start. Pause. Oh, did you hear the weak pause? Because I forgot la pausa. Reanudar. Guapo. I still think Guapo might be my favorite name for a dog. It's definitely my favorite name for a Komodo dragon, but I haven't owned one of those yet. So if I do ever own one, I'm I'm going Guapo, even if it's a girl. Is that Guapa? No, it'd be Guapo. What's the point? Who's going to know? How does truth emerge from this? Or don't call me a victim. Nice look, you white male American middle class piece of shit. Okay. It is very easy to tell people that you, in your puffy Kleenex cotton ball, pampered, favored, allowed mistakes others paid dearly for, given advantages instead of earning them. All of these things are true, which makes any claim I have to say I don't want to be seen as a victim regardless of circumstances sound awfully unearned. And I agree with that. I really do. I find it I can hear the ringing of offensiveness I'm presenting it as in the dismissive overtone any wrecked and truly damaged life has as a counterpoint. And okay, that's why I said I am 100% available to see, support, and help migrate in the capacity that works for you through your victimhood as a caring human. You have that from me in every circumstance, especially victimhood. Why I'm not asking for that back is because I think at this point, whatever I face next will either destroy me or move me forward. And I will believe that with every essence of my body as I go through whatever it is that comes next. Because I came here for this experience specifically. And I do have an idea that I can come out of this as ascending in a strength that is tapped one time and one time only to move myself as a participant in that which makes all of us courageous. Humanity is long overdue for a moment of universal step up and get the fucking job done. And I believe we're on the precipice of watching that happen. So it's not that I have some level of contempt or even dismay for victimhood. It is that I think now is the time to feel the warrior inside you and just be prepared enough to think, yeah, I can play that card now because the world may need it. Reanudar, guapo, CIA man. So intelligence services, right? We're cool. We're just talking life stuff, right? I feel like, you know, I published some stuff on YouTube, man. What am I thinking, right? I'm not a YouTube person, but that's what my RSS.com recording distribution software said I need to do to maintain my level of package. Is to put all my stuff available on YouTube Music, I believe. Don't even know. But I know that I hit this button that then says, we're going to publish this to YouTube. Are you okay with that? And I say, publish. And then it takes like anywhere from 17 minutes to, I don't know, 8 hours to make one of these things publish. So it's an arduous, tedious process. It sucks. But I think I'm only doing it so I can be banned from YouTube. At least I expect none of this content is YouTube appropriate. So again, you know, feels like I'm stepping in dog shit to avoid stepping in fucking cow shit. Pause. La pausa. Pause. Jeez, man, I am so white and American. Reanudar. Guapo. Guapa. Y guapa. Guapas. Guapos. Los guapos todos. Sí. So much Spanish do I speak after so much education in America high schools. But simple solutions are what we are here for. So instead of using Spanish, I'm going to use English. I think we'll get further because one of the things that I just don't, I mean, it's like, what, like corruption in our government is debt. Debt accumulates with no recompense to work itself out. It's a feature of the system, not a bug. It's not a question of will you fall into debt? You will. And as a debtor, you will then be an ower to a bank of money that you will then have to provide by going and having someone give you money for something you do. Mostly we call this a job. And as I've already said, a job is a soul-sucking experience that tries to drive any kind of energy that you have to express your individual creativity out of you. So, hamster wheel, right? Or what? Maybe it's that show where you like, no whammies. I don't want a whammy. I don't want a fucking, or maybe it's that like board game, Life, where you get kids and stuff, and then that can be helpful or not helpful depending on which cards you draw or something, or wheel spins. Point is, there's a lot of chance here, right? You could be playing any game. You don't know. Maybe this is, well, I mean, let's face it, it's at best a simulation. But it doesn't mean that debt isn't real. So let's just wipe that fucking shit out. It's going to happen sooner or later. There will be a debt jubilee, whether that be through a reckoning of government fracture and corroding from within to the point that all money becomes worthless, and a debt jubilee it is, at least if we're going to call it something other than the end of civilization as we know it. So instead of doing that, I thought, okay, all debt forgiven, right? Since it's all pretend anyway, right? Okay, that's a simple solution. And most people would say, that isn't a solution. That's just stupid you talking stupidly. To which I would say, fine. Well, then how about this simple solution? A budget agreement that every citizen signs into law is that for every dollar spent on defense, a dollar has to be spent on domestic infrastructure improvements. Is that simple and solution-oriented enough for you? Pau la pausa. Reanudar. Amigo. Yeah, I know. Dumb, right? No, see, it's not dumb. It's the kind of simplicity that can be baked into a system that has gotten so complex, it obfuscates any truth whatsoever. How about this? You want $1 for the Pentagon? Fine. $1 goes to domestic improvements. Now, what else? I guess that kind of sums it up. Yeah, we thought so. Signed, all of us. It's like brushing your teeth in the shower. Once you see simplicity is right there to be had, streamlining, efficiency, being the most enabled you possible. Well, no, that has nothing to do with brushing your teeth in the shower. I'm just saying it is the ultimate get out and feel clean. Pause. I mean, most of us get out, then brush our teeth and deal. It's just, you can avoid all that sink muck. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Especially if you have a toothbrush holder. Ugh! I mean, is there a grosser thing to have in the house? A teenager, yeah, but okay, kids generally. All right, a lot of pets, especially ones that live in glass houses. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. But yeah, that's fucking disgusting too. All right, pause. Anudar. Lo siento. But getting back to English. Is it all your fault? Paper straws? Okay. I don't think paper straws are my fault. They may be collateral damage. I could see where I was too disregarding with what environmental cues were being followed that paper straws became a thing. That's something I would like not to take the blame for, but I might be involved there. Those single-use bags that you can not even load 2 loaves of bread in without seriously compromising their structural integrity. I don't think I was responsible for those. But I may have been dismissive of plastic bags. I may have tossed them into not into the Utah wilderness, but into the, random trash instead of finding a new purpose for them or using them as some sort of, I don't know, what? Galoshes? I don't know. I'm not creative. I'm just spitballing shit here, and that's not something you would use plastic bags for. They're not that durable, but there's got to be something, right? They could hold widgets. I mean, they're bags. Hello. And now they're just fucking tissue paper. So maybe that's my fault. But I don't see how the Kansas City Chiefs are my fault. Except I still fucking have a man crush on Mahomes. He so fucking gets it done. Even though it was completely scripted, we all knew how it was going to go down, fucking exactly like it did. And next year, of course, he's going to lose a heartbreaker to who? Who's due? I don't think you can say that the San Francisco guy is due. But I could be wrong there. It might be his turn to one-up Mahomes. Someone gets to one-up Mahomes next year. And it may be somebody in the AFC Championship game. It could be Cincinnati or Buffalo. Or Miami. No, it's not going to be Miami. Damn it. I wish it would. But it won't. Pause. Unpause. So is Sam Harris my fault? Maybe. Maybe I got a little too Sammy with my Harris before I figured out that Sam's Harris was somewhat harassment. But what is that? Is Biden my fault? Is a vacuous clone leader my fault? How? Okay, not voting, but votes are just into rigged elections. I mean, go look at blackboxvoting.org and thank Bev Harris for doing the work that we all could have done ourselves, but she did for us instead. So, is the falling, what does that word say? Oh, don't tell me, I can't read my own handwriting. Falling earth? Oh, no, is failing truth repairable? Yes. The best thing about truth is it doesn't have to repair. It doesn't have to do anything except kick off the clumps of shit that are attached to it that aren't truth. Truth is much like getting the actual golden nugget out of the ore. It is what everything else you chip away till you have nothing but gold. That is what truth is. It is the thread of continuity that exists, that cannot be denied, because it's the truth. So, obfuscate it, twist it, upend it, redirect it, throw it for a loop, play it for a fool, but never, ever does the train of simple, deductive, rational truth get threatened. It cannot, because it exists as perfect an entity as there is in this universe, is what fucking actually happened. The truth. Now, whenever we're ready to forgive everybody for doing shit that was other than that, putting more rocks and ore on our gold so that if probably all the gold disappeared, I would not be surprised. Oh, Fort Knox has gold in it? When was the last time anybody went down and took a look? Yeah, who cares? I'm saying at this point, there's so much shenanigan playing. Whatever is undiscovered versus that which is heinous versus that which is borderline unforgivable. It all must be forgiven. La pausa. Reanudar. So that says falling birth rates, if I'm not mistaken. Not failing truth responses. You do have how does truth emerge from the chaos right there. Well, are the falling birth rates your fault? Is that why you didn't want to talk about them? Are they? How much sex are you having? So, sounds like it's your fault, bro. Pause. La pausa. This time I hope it means pussy. But, reanudar. Since we're back with the idea that, well, planned obsolescence is not my fault. This one, when I found out about it, I thought, well, of course that's what's happening. But fuck, is that wrong? La pausa. No pussy. Reanudar. Hola, España. Buenos días. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? That's all I can ask. I can't understand an answer. I just can ask it because that was a question that seemed pertinent in the 1980s. Very pertinent. If you're this far into this thing, bravo. Your life has sunk to a new low. But mock you I will not. I will just camaraderie with you under word cabbage that doesn't exist as we think about reviewing the past versus forging ahead. And the Kierkegaard quote, life is understood looking backward, but lived going forward, or something close to that, is very simple, logically organized thought structure that is undeniable. But there is no benefit to a life lived without the consideration of experiences thus far engaged and the growth opportunities presented in those experiences, especially as they amalgamate throughout various vectors in time. And I'm not saying that this is even recognizable sometimes in real time, that you are erring on one direction too heavily or another, because it is truly a balance of always having enough wisdom to reflect if you're experiencing an outcome that can be avoided, if there's further review of other models to ascertain the likeliest outcomes your model presents. There can be obsessive, detail-oriented, looking at all possible angles of something that are clear hindrances to just jumping in and seeing what happens. If I had to err on one side or the other, I would want to say, no, I will live in the now. I will forego it all. I will think nothing about my past or future to just live in the now. If you'll give me that existence, I'll let go of the rest of it. But since 8675309 Earth is obsessed with our past, demanding that our future be saddled to our past behaviors, there is no living in the now that doesn't feel somewhat like it has to be planning for a future that can't entangle itself with these past transgressions that have proven to substantially or even a trifling manner reduce our lives somewhat. So if you're willing to move through your past to a point that it is nothing but the data that assembles you as you are now, then your past can lose its relevance, regardless of who wants to dredge up what. But a full reckoning with who you are into a state of bliss and self-love as a result of all of that work, it's a lot like doing the Buddha. I mean, wow, did I not mean that? La pausa. No, we are not even saying it. Nope. Pausa. Re anudar. I got nothing. Amiga. The truth is, who's got that time? Who has the soul thirst to forego a life of actual productivity to drench oneself in the realization of the purpose of life in the now? Who? I can't think of a single human being who's done it. Is there an example? There has to be one. I mean, somebody has to have gone all in on that philosophy just to see where it led them. Or do you just not make it out of infant? I mean, you can't really be considering what it is that is living in the now until you can appreciate the future, the past, and the now, which would put you in some level of recognition of your circumstance, which I would think happens right around 3 or 4. That you have that level of interpretation of your universe. Having never had children, I'm making shit up right now. This is my own recollection, which, if we're being honest, is the equivalent of making shit up. So, rather than make shit up, I'll just say that because we can't live in the now entirely, it is the natural blending of using what you are gaining in wisdom opportunities from the past to better forecast a future of meaningful, purposeful intent that your destiny feels organized alongside of. That isn't what happened for me. So in a lot of ways, I'm kind of speaking out of my a-hole right now. This is like, I think, things I learned on maybe, Little House on the Prairie? Feels like that. Pause. So why even look in the past, right? Why even deal with it? Well, because that's where everyone's shame, guilt, the overstuffed carry-on of self-loathing that you cannot leave anywhere. You just hope people don't notice how it keeps getting more and more zippers flooding with moments of disgrace. But hey, other people's carry-ons are trunks. So if you've managed a shoulder bag of self-loathing, bueno, gracias. No, none of that. Very, 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 very healthy of you. But you still have self-loathing. And that's what your past is here to release, is that any of that matters. Because through purging your guilt and shame, through honest work of coming to terms of who you are on this planet of possibility, well, yeah, now we're talking a completely different ballgame, where you're not just an entity whose past has data points, but you are the process whereby those data points manifest into the future you're destined to become. It just is a point of self-realization that occurs along the way. That is the part that's called doing the Buddha. Pause. Unpause. Which is why for this particular answer, the answer live in the now is correct, but with that impossibility in play, balancing your gains from past considerations through definitive, organized plans into the future of a better you is the place that you can organize enough of your momentum that you can start to get headwind into things that you didn't know were out there. So if you want to be a better version of yourself, take the last year, it's still pretty fresh in everyone's mind, it's 6 weeks ago, and find the one thing that you consistently did that you shouldn't have allowed yourself the level of disappointment to behave that way. Whether it's something with your family, your job, or something specific. It has to be something in your immediate surrounding. And this isn't something to create tension. It's something about you. Maybe you were too hostile to your daughter when she came in late compared to what you used to be for your son. And these are just tendencies we all have. Just find a consistent way in which if you were looking at yourself from afar, you'd go, yeah, that's fucking irritating. If you're late all the time, there's an easy one. Don't be late this year. And watch how much people like you more. Just for that little change. Don't tell people you did it. Don't even announce that you're doing it. Just do it. And see if you get a better reaction from the universe. And if you're an on-time motherfucker, then go find the nitpicky way that because you are organized in a way that is uniquely you, the universe is a little bit abrasive if we're being fair. We all have them. Just be honest with yourself. It's not a big deal. Pause. Unpause. Reanudar. Okay, this will be the end. We're already at 44444, and that's a lot of me. So if you've put up with this, then all of that emergence, and then the ability to plan forward for your own gain, because you know where you're going and what you need to do to make the steps to get there. Well, then that early bird getting the worm stuff doesn't even matter. You just are the early bird. That's who you become, because opportunities can't be let go of. They have to be advantaged. So if there is something that's an opportunity, like getting in better health, you actually will just start fulfilling these opportunities. And you aren't looking to regret what there is to deal with. You are looking to solve it. You aren't looking to blame. You are looking to fix. You want a better world. So assigning some level of culpability, if that must be done, would much prefer it's done by other people in a capacity that makes sense. Otherwise, don't do it all. Let's all just work on solutions. And in those advantages, as they emerge, are waning. So as you see advantage, announce it and leverage it. Seriously. Because we all need help. So if you've got an elixir to a better universe, use it. And then bring us all along with you. I mean, really, come on. Let's not end this like a Disney movie where only one goes through. Let us all come with you, please. It's like a Marvel universe or something closer to that. Okay. No movie references, because I only watched one movie, and it was Annihilation. Which, you know what Annihilation is? It's that movie that I started that put me to sleep more than once. And the second time it did it, I was so fucking confused, because I was like, oh, I'm going to make it through this movie this time. But by the time, like, she's having sex with the black dude, I'm thinking, I must have missed something really big. So then you're rewinding, trying to find the part you missed, but you didn't miss anything. It's just like that they're doing that to you, and then you're just like, oh, fuck. That's why I'm saying it should have been a 30-minute fucking movie. It would have been perfect. But all that choppy bobby, bleh, you know, I get that it's the shimmer disorientation you're supposed to experience yourself. Blah. All I can say is the movie with that actress from The Office did it a lot better. And Jeremy Renner, he was in it too. What was that called? Arrival? Or was that the one with Charlie Sheen? That could be Sheen. Maybe it's Arrival and The Arrival. You know how Hollywood is. It's probably what it is. But that Renner movie is terrific. Really, really good. Annihilation's at least a level, if not two down from that. But not because of Natalie Portman. She, as always, is terrific. And actually makes this movie, much like V. Reanudar. All right, I will end it this time. Because driven, goal-oriented, organized, these are the outcomes of finding your purpose. If you're that way and you don't feel purpose, well, then you're implementing the framework trying to find purpose from within. And so my question is, should you be breaking the framework and thinking of rebuilding it in a pattern that's yours? These questions are uncomfortable, even if you've asked them of the universe before, because you are, frankly, smarter than the fucking system. And you know it. Well then, why ain't you showing it?